Okay, that's lovely. So yes, it's through Karen and I doing the certification that this course was born, actually, because the light bulb moments I had when taking my certification after having been training dogs for about 25 years before I took it was amazing. And I thought, if after 25 years...
Too, so it doesn't get wet in there on my stuff. Thanks.
Competing at world championship level with a little dog in agility and going to Crufts and Olympia and all of those things in England, the light bulb moments I was having taking this course were amazing. So I hope that today, if nothing else, because there's a lot of information, but if nothing else, we give you some light bulb moments. Okay, so what we're saying is there's other behaviors coming into this down. So down is beginning to, so one thing I want to say about repetitive downs is remember how tiring it is. Remember how tiring that is, okay? So remember, if the dog is doing several downs in a row, you might want to give them a break. Yeah. Because they'll say, oh, again? Do I have to get up and go down again? Yeah. So there is that to think about, but yes, be aware of, and I'll watch this time, we'll see what's happening, but be aware of whether your down cue means lie down or whether it means sit, bump your hand, then lie down, because that was the last thing I thought of that might work. Yeah?
So the other thing that to throw in on the other side of the spectrum is I'm used to her waiting till I give a release, and so then when we were doing it repetitively, I'm confused whether
to give a release or not.
To give the release or not. Is
yes.
How to fit that into this part of the training.
So yeah, I know, and that is one of the, I think the thing about whether to release or whether the marker releases, when you're teaching something, what you need to know is, what am I teaching? What do you want her to do? Are you aiming for a fast down, or are you aiming for her to stay until she's released? So the word cue, what does it mean? I want us to define it and understand exactly what it means and how it differs from a command, okay? A command makes you feel like, you know, go and sit down over there. And you think, oh, good grief, if I don't go and sit down over there, there's going to be trouble, okay? It has that feeling of a threat.
Yeah, there's an implied or else.
Yes, yes, sit down or else. A cue is different from that. It is a stimulus that elicits a behavior. It is a sound or motion or something, some kind of a signal that makes a behavior start. But it's also, and I think very importantly, an opportunity to earn reinforcement. If I respond to this cue, I will be reinforced. Not if I don't respond to this command, I might get put back in the crate and mum go off and play with someone else or whatever. If I respond to this cue, I am likely to be reinforced, is the implication there. Watch for the default. Free.
Default left spins.
Lots of default left spins. To teach that default, I had to mark and reinforce the default behavior. I'm not going to mark and reinforce that. And to start with, because the left spin was so ingrained, I had to do this. Good girl. Okay, all done. Good girl. Just come here for a sec. This is my park. It's easier with her. Okay, so she had to be reinforced a lot for sitting still, because I can probably show you if I wait too long, longer than she's used to right now, because we're not doing our test anymore, so she doesn't have to do it for so long anymore. If I don't tell her to do something, she'll do that. Yeah? So I have to watch that. I wait for her to have stopped doing it before I start. Good girl. And then I can add duration, and I can add. So I'm treating her for defaulting into doing nothing if she doesn't understand the cue I'm giving her. All right, so she says, good girl, if mum's doing funny things and I don't understand that cue, I'm going to sit and look at her. as opposed to if mum's doing funny things and I don't understand that cue, I'm going to go sniff the room. But she's been taught that by high rate of reinforcement for sitting still and doing nothing and looking at me. And yes, that was boring for me to teach. It was hard. I found it hard to teach that. I like teaching the fun, exciting stuff. And it didn't seem like the fun, exciting stuff, but it makes the fun, exciting stuff work better if you get that.
First set of repetitions. So your final behavior, so now you will have touched all 4 behaviors. This is your 4th behavior only. First set of repetitions. Are you ready? Begin.
So what's your cue?
Stand.
Okay, show me. Now so he needs to be not standing. What does your cue mean? Does it mean get into a stand or just stay still in a stand or?
I guess stay still because I can't get her out of a stand position
But
to
if
tell
you-
her to stand.
No, but do you want to be able to tell her to stand and her get up?
Yeah.
Okay, so we want it to mean that. So put her in a position other than the stand and ask her to stand then, see what happens.
There.
So your cue is the word stand, yeah? So just bring her further away from the distraction. That's all, good?
Stand.
That's okay. So it's information. So does she understand the word stand?
Apparently not.
Not yet. Okay, so what would you say, what could you do that would make her stand? Do you have a signal? Okay, do your signal then. So that's actually your cue at the moment.
Yes.
Yeah? So give her the cue that she knows, not the one you want her to know in the end.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Stand. Stand.
Don't worry with the word. The word is superfluous.
Okay.
You could be saying, I bet if you, I'll tell you what, do that and say oranges. Do it. Ask her to lie down.
Down.
Click and treat it, because she did it. And then put your hand out and say oranges.
Down.
Yeah. So your cue is your hand. Yeah? So you know that cue will bring her up out of another position into a stand. All right? So get that so that she does it fluently. So that every time you do that with your hand, she says, oh, I know this is my stand cue. All right? And then you can start to add your verbal cue. If you want it on a verbal cue, you say stand, hand, click, treat. Stand, hand, click, treat. Okay? Is this it?
Yes.
Have you stopped? Have we stopped? Okay, so lunch now.